everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, my name is Tanya. I'm a holistic health coach and I make weekly videos on holistic health and nutrition. This weekend I am vlogging because it is Thanksgiving here in Canada, so I'm excited to show you what I make and kind of what I get up to. I'm actually planning my Thanksgiving dinner menu right now, and I thought it'd be fun to just browse the internet and find recipes instead of using my own. I typically create my own recipes, but sometimes I like to try out other recipes. So what I did, I just kind of looked up Thanksgiving recipes and I found all the recipes I needed, and from there I just copy pasted all of the ingredients into my notes on my computer, sorted all of that, and created a grocery list so that I can go pick up everything. So that leads me into like the first tip in this video. I want to share with you guys some of my favorite grocery trip tips. I personally love going to the grocery store, but I know that's not the case for everyone. So these tips will help you make your trip as smooth as possible. Tip number one is to have a grocery list. I honestly don't know what I would do if I ever went to the grocery store without a grocery list. I typically follow everything that's on my grocery list and then get one treat on top of that. And I feel like if I didn't have that list, I would just kind of end up with a ton of treats and none of the foods that I actually need to make healthy meals. Number two is I organize my grocery list in the order of the grocery store. So this is obviously much easier if you are familiar with the store you're going to, but even if you don't know the store, typically a grocery store starts with fresh produce and then it goes into meat and seafood and then the aisles, so you can at least categorize your items based off of that, so you're not going from one end to the other and back and forth. You can kind of just go loop around and then you check out at the end, and it's much easier that way. Number three is to check the ingredients. So unfortunately a lot of products will advertise as healthy or gluten-free, and that does not mean that the ingredients are all high quality. So again, check the ingredients. I actually have a section in my ebook that talks about that. As you can see here, this is an ingredient label for gluten-free cookies that are found in the health foods section, and all the ingredients that are highlighted in yellow are really poor quality and something that you don't really want to consume. So again, just because something says it's healthy or gluten-free doesn't mean that it's actually good for you. So just check those ingredients quickly. And my last tip is to not try and go to the grocery store while you're hungry. I feel like that just never works out. As I said, usually I stick to my grocery list and I have one treat. But if I'm going hungry, I feel like that one treat turns into 47. All right, so I'm actually gonna head to the grocery store right now because I feel like I have to get my hands on a turkey ASAP, because today is Friday and Thanksgiving is Sunday, so they're probably running low. But first, I want to go to a market that's really close to where I live because I'm hoping to find some delicata squash. This is my absolute favorite squash, or just one of my favorite foods in general, and you can only really find it this time of year, and I can't find it in regular grocery stores, so I usually have to find it locally. I've been seeing everyone making recipes with it. I still haven't gotten my hands on it, so I'm gonna go see if that little market that is just down the street has it. I'm hoping they do because I want it so bad, and then after that I'll go to the regular grocery store and get everything for the dinner. Good morning guys, a happy Sunday and happy Canadian Thanksgiving. So I started this vlog on Friday. Yesterday I didn't do that much, honestly. We went for a walk around this place. We just kind of spent some time outside and hung out, so I didn't do much vlogging, but today's where all the action is happening. Anyways, I'm cooking up a full Thanksgiving dinner, trying to keep it as like a paleo, grain-free, gluten-free, dairy-free as much as possible. So I'm really excited to show you guys everything I do. It's already, right now it's like around noon, and I feel like I should probably have the turkey in the oven already. So I'm gonna go check that and see how long it needs to be in the oven. This is gonna be my first time ever doing like full-size turkey. Like, yeah, I think it's like 15 pounds, but I'll check that. And yeah, but I kind of want to get a walk in. It is beautiful today. I want to get a walk in before I really get into like full-on kitchen prep. But I'm excited. I'm going to show you guys the menu, everything I do, and then I'm going to leave links to all the recipes. So if you want to recreate this, because I know American Thanksgiving is a little bit later, then if you want to do that, you can just kind of take the menu and go from there. Okay, update. We are in full like cooking mode right now, but I have to admit, this is my first, I think I mentioned this already, but it's my first like full Thanksgiving dinner. And I thought I had it mapped out well enough until I realized that I didn't think of the fact that once the turkey's in the oven, like I don't have another oven. So anyways, basically like so many of Thanksgiving dishes are like roasted, so you need the oven. And after I ran into that problem, I did some research and I realized that there are like ways around it. But in my head I was just like, oh, I'll put the turkey in and then I'll work on all the side dishes. But that is not possible because the oven is occupied with the turkey and a lot of the stuff needs to be roasted. Anyways, I kind of just went through all the recipes and figured out like what can be done on the stovetop, which is happening right now. Things that can be kind of added in the oven with the turkey. It's probably gonna prolong the cooking time for the turkey a bit, but we're just going with it at this point. And then I'm also using the barbecue to roast a few things, but I'm definitely learning from this. So in the description box where I'm gonna place all the recipes, I'm also gonna kind of give you directions on what to do first. Overall, I should have done the desserts and a few other things yesterday, and then I should have prepped a lot of the vegetables that need to be roasted and like softened before the turkey, and then put the turkey in, have all like the casseroles and the dishes kind of like ready. And then once the turkey's done, you want to let it sit for at least a half hour anyways. So then you put all the side dishes in and you like reheat them. That's what the internet's telling me I should have done. But clearly I'm glad I'm doing this time, and we're just cooking for ourselves, because we're learning a lot. And then if we're ever gonna like actually host people, like we'll be better at this. Plus, a lot of people online just say like, if you're hosting a big dinner for a lot of people, have other people like bring dishes, which totally makes sense. But we're kind of using this as like Thanksgiving dinner slash meal prep. So we wanted to make a big dinner so that we have leftovers for the rest of the week. Anyways, it's all gonna work out. But yeah, once I realized that, I was like, oh no, the turkey's in the oven. I can't use the oven, but anyways, it's all working out. I'll bring you guys over and show you what's happening. So we're making some stuffing from scratch. I'm not gonna lie, the initial plan was that I made my own paleo bread and then made stuffing out of it. Do not have time to make bread, especially with the oven being like taken by a million things. So I just use this bread that I have. It's not even gluten-free, but it is sprouted. So sprouted is already better than just like wheat because it's just easier to digest. So that's what I'm using. So this stuffing won't be like fully paleo. It's not gluten-free, but it is a little bit like gut health, like friendlier, I guess. There's two side dishes happening here. Here is going to be Brussels sprouts with like bacon and apples. So the bacon's going, and then we'll add the apples, which are already chopped there. This here is going to be a like butternut squash sausage kind of like stuffing thing. So celery, onions, and then I'll add the butternut squash, which is on the barbecue right now. And then I'm gonna add the sausage to that soon, and then you mix everything in. And then, oh my God, look, the turkey's looking so good, look at that. Oh, she's looking good. So turkey's almost done. And then I sneaked in some sweet potatoes and Brussels sprouts in there. All right, update. Turkey is done and it's just like resting right now. Cranberry sauce is also done. Brussels sprouts with bacon and apple done. Just like butternut squash sausage dish, it's done. Gravy, I don't know, it's looking questionable, but I think it's done. We got some stuffing done, and then we got biscuits and this kind of sweet potato, like pecan date dish finishing up. So I also had cauliflower mash on the menu, but I decided to just not do it because stovetop is just completely full and I would have had to do it like earlier or something. It's okay, we have plenty of side dishes. And then the last thing we have to do is the pumpkin pie. So I've actually made the crust already, but you have to let it rest in the fridge, like refrigerate for 20 minutes. That's happening right now. And we'll probably kind of just make like the pie as we're eating dinner. I'm kind of surprised we're pulling this off because earlier when I checked out the menu and I realized that I needed the oven for literally everything, I was kind of scared, but it's looking really good. Everything, I've like tasted a few things and it tastes so good. Look at this. We got everything here. Stuffing, Brussels sprouts, cranberry sauce, gravy, some kind of like butternut squash, sausage stuffing thing, kind of like pecan, date, sweet potato thing. Some little biscuits. I'm very intrigued by these. They were really easy to make, so I hope they taste delicious. Got some ghee here for the biscuits. Wine. It's one of my favorite wines. It is, I always, as much as possible, I try to get organic. It's a Malbec. I really like it. And then we got the turkey underway here. Yum, and looking so good. And lastly will be the pie. So the crust is in the oven right now. Once it comes out, add the filling, bake for like an hour while we eat and we digest. And then we'll have dessert. Hey guys, okay, so time for a debrief on the Thanksgiving dinner. So I never showed you guys the pumpkin pie because it was done like quite later. Like we sat down for dinner and put the pumpkin pie in, and then it was done in like an hour from there. But it was super good. Honestly, if someone else made it, like I wouldn't know that it was grain-free at all. So super, super delicious. Highly recommend. Everything else was really good as well. I ended up, so like the menu was turkey, and then I had paleo stuffing. I had this like butternut sausage stuffing with apples and cranberries. You had the candied sweet potatoes with pecans and dates, mashed cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, biscuits, cranberry sauce, gravy, and pumpkin pie. I ended up not doing the cauliflower mash because I simply just didn't have the capacity for it. But yeah, everything else worked out really great. The stuffing was good. As I mentioned earlier in the video, it wasn't like fully paleo. I used like bread that had wheat in it. The butternut sausage stuffing with apples and cranberries, so good. Highly recommend that. If you're gonna do one of the sides, definitely recommend that one. The sweet potatoes were okay. I don't know, the pecans and dates and it didn't do like a whole lot for me, so I would have just probably done like a regular sweet potato, or I would just do like a mashed sweet potato because I love that with like some butter. So good. The Brussels sprouts were delicious, like cooked in bacon fat. Can't go wrong with that. The biscuits, super easy to make and turned out pretty good. Like I was definitely skeptical because it was almost too easy to make, but really good. I would definitely recommend it. Kind of has like a similar taste as my paleo bread in my ebook. And it's really good. And then the cranberry sauce turned out great as well. And the gravy was a bit on the thicker side for me because you add, I think it was tapioca starch in it to thicken it up, but it was almost too much. I ended up adding more liquid from the turkey in it to thin it out, but it was still pretty thick. So I would start with maybe less tapioca than the recipe calls for, And that's pretty much it. I'm gonna leave all of the recipes, the links to the recipes that I use for this menu down in the description box. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end the vlog here because I'm not really doing much today. I'm just gonna edit this vlog. I just walked over to Starbucks, got myself a pumpkin spice latte, decaf, made with coconut milk, and I got 3 shots of pumpkin instead of 4. I don't know how big of a difference that makes, but that's what I went with. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!